good morning, y'all. Y'all know what it is, man. It's Wednesday morning, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty good day to work. It's kind of overcast, and yeah, man, I like overcast, man. And it's been a great week. You know, we laid that sod on both those jobs over the weekend, and we have not had a hot 90-degree day since. And we've had rain every day since. So at this point with the sod, if we have another, little rain today or tomorrow and not a lot of sun, that grass, I won't even have to do anything to that. I won't have to water that grass, not none. Rarely do you get away with putting sod down and not having to water it, because usually when you put sod down, it's in the heat of the summer or beginning of the summer, for me anyway. You can pretty much put it down whenever you get ready, but I like to do it where I can see the effects and it green. I want to see it green up. So today we got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, we got 9 on the list. It's about $750. Yeah, and there's a couple little extras in there too. I'm gonna spray a couple. When I spray for these two, I get $40 more. So total today will probably be about $850, something like that, $830. So yeah, that's pretty good. It's 7:15 and I'm pulling out. My truck thing just came on, told me it's time to change the oil, so I'll be changing the oil in the truck. Now I usually change my own oil in this truck. Well, in all my vehicles, I usually change the oil. The last time I took a vehicle to get the oil change was years ago in the Kia that I got. I took it over to the oil change place, and it was like $100. Yeah, and they forgot to put something back on. They forgot to do something. Oh, they forgot to, they didn't tighten up the damn plug all the way. So the car was dripping oil. And they charged me like $100. And then they were trying to up-fee me on all this other stuff, So ever since then, I've always changed the oils in my truck and all my trucks. I just do it myself, because it's just it's just easier. I don't have to go nowhere. I can buy the stuff from the auto parts place for $40. It ain't really the $100 that I mean, for this truck it'd probably be $150 for them to change the oil. It was that much to change the oil in my Kia. And I was just doing it out of convenience, because that Kia, the oil filter is kind of hard to get to. So yeah, see, it's a good thing about leaving when I'm leaving today, because there's no traffic. See, let me text Zach, tell him what am I gonna tell him, y'all? Just follow this. I gotta say it every day. Make me feel better. Yeah, I appreciate all the comments on the video yesterday. I kind of inserted the last minute because I talked to that lady over there. The last minute of me recording. So I had to go back and insert that into the video. But you guys are right, man. I mean, I'm not, I'm off that kick. See, one thing about being a hustling entrepreneur like I am is you can be hung up on something like that, like like the week leading up to that, where you're contemplating, okay, what is it going to take to do that property? What do I need to buy to do that property? And then you kind of go down that rabbit hole of all the possibilities, right? But then when you see that those possibilities are not going to come to light, and that you're not going to get the account, or most likely not going to get the account, then it doesn't take you. You got to move on to something else. You can't let it linger in your brain. It lingered in my brain for about 6 or 7 hours, and then I was on to something else. Now, you do have to go through the period of accepting the fact that you're not going to get it or whatever. And most of the time, when things like that go down like that, it's okay. It's okay, right? Because, if you're meant to have it, then you're meant to have it, right? But going into that whole deal with them, I already, and you guys know that watch the channel, I had already had a bad taste, in my mouth about dealing with them anyway, based on the way the other guy did me. He didn't do me any way. They've always paid me. It's just the lack of respect and all. So, more than likely I dodged a bullet. Now, if Daddy came on back and said, if they, wanted me to do it for like I had been doing the 14 acres over there, then she wants it to look like I've had the 14 acres looking, but they don't want to pay for it. And I don't know, it ain't a big deal. It shouldn't be that big of a deal to her, because it ain't like she's pulling money out of her bank account to do that. So at the end of the day, I probably dodged a bullet. But you have to pick up and keep your hustle on and keep your grind going, because, it doesn't do any good to reminisce or whatever, however you want to look at it. It doesn't do any good to perpetually keep chasing that work or thinking about that work. I made $5,200 over there, probably a $3,500 profit, and move on. I do a lot of jobs that are $3,500 profit, and that's great. That's a good profit for 3 days. So. But you can't get hung up on it. See, I used to get all hung up on it, get my butt hurt and everything. And I will admit, I was a little bit disappointed. I don't know about butt hurt, but maybe so. Because I just knew that they were going to accept the, my deal. I just knew they would. But you can't get real tied up on all that and let it suck up a bunch of your brain power, because, it ain't doing you no good. It's outside of your control. So we moved on, and when she called me, I felt like they was trying to pull me back in my head, back to 2018 or whatever, when I was over there the last time, because that's kind of like the same thing they kind of did back then. So I don't know. I hated that I'm not going to be doing the 14 acres either. They'll find somebody though. They'll find somebody young in the game, or they'll find an old timer that really don't have to make a profit, or they'll find somebody real young, but they'll go through people. See, with me, I bring a lot of consistency to every job that I do. Every customer that I have, every job I take on, if it's a repetitive thing, I bring a lot of consistency that a lot of people, that all my customers appreciate. They'd rather be consistent, but I talk about it all the time, the ebbs and the flows of business, and you can't get too high on the highs and you can't get too low on the lows. You got to kind of make sure that you kind of not flatline. There's a little bit of highs and a little bit of lows, but you can't let it go too far down. You can't let it go too far up. You got to kind of just ride the wave, So that's what I'm all about. I'm all about trying to stay even keel. Sometimes, you can't, but I strive for that anyway. But I gotta go down here to Fayetteville. I gotta do these 2 commercial sites. See, I'm gonna get over here and get started early again. If I can get over here and get started and be done before they get to work, that's what you want to do, this site right here. So the first thing I do when I get over here is I grab the weed eater and the mower and take it over there around the entrance, and where they park and they walk in and out of the building, and I'll do all that real quick, edging it, weed eating it, and mowing it, and then blowing it all into the parking lot and get it away from where they're coming in and out at. You don't want to wait until 8:30, 9 o'clock when they're pulling up over here. So just little tricks, man, that I've learned in this season. And I tell you what, Zach's really been shining, so he's made a miraculous turnaround. I don't know what happened. Maybe he just saw the inevitable, that wasn't really headed nowhere or whatever. I don't know. But he's really made a vast turnaround. And been showing up every day, been doing his job, and yeah, I can't say anything bad. It's all good. But what that's done, and it makes a big difference, what that's done is, like, this week, that's enabled us to well, me being more efficient, me leaving early, Zach coming to work every day, and us getting to this point in the season where everything is pretty much routine, has made us so efficient that we're running out of work. Yeah, we're actually running out of work. Yesterday we did like a route, a day and a half yesterday in the time it takes, that used to take us a day. Because I've been able to plan, and the planning has been able to happen because of the help coming to work. You can't minimize that. That is, critical. So, that's a big deal. Because at the beginning of the summer, it was like, man, it's hard for me to plan, man. I don't know if I'm gonna have help, blah 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 blah. And now that Zach's been coming to work every day and being consistent, we are like this week, we'll have, like, Friday, we won't hardly have anything to do. So it'll be a short day on Friday. It'll be and not much to do tomorrow either, really, because 2 weeks ago we did the airstrip. So I have called and scratched at the schedule to be able to free up a day to do the airstrip, and we did. And then the next day after that, 2 weeks ago on Friday, we started doing that cleanup over there on the big acreage, trimming them crepe myrtles and all that. You see what I'm saying? So, and we're not doing the airstrip, and we're not doing another cleanup. So there's 2 full days there that I got that where we have, where we don't have anything going on. And that's kind of the bad thing about trying to take on something bigger, because you're trying to take on something bigger like that, so you are moving things around and everything, and then you're able to overcome that, and then what happens is you don't get to work for whatever reason. Then what happens is you look up at your schedule, at your calendar, and you're seeing, you're seeing that you got, I don't know, all this free time. And, you know, it screws you up for a minute because you're trying to fill in the time. But it shows you that you can free up time. And like, we could have actually, y'all, you know, we could have actually been able to maintain that 50 acres, the 14 acres, and not drop one customer. Yeah. That's how. Now, 2 months ago, I might not have said that, but I'm seeing now that having a guy come out here every day consistently, at least 5 days a week, and then us doing a little tinkering around on the weekends, you know, really enables us to, well, get her done, man. I mean, you know, at the end of the day. 7:30 now, and I'm almost there. They just started the school thing right here, so a lot of schools, man. You know, when you're just out and about, and you know, living your life, and you're not out here, you know, having to be anywhere or whatever. You know, you just go to your 9 to 5 and blah blah blah. You know, and you work your 9 to 5 and you come home. You don't realize how many schools and stuff that goes on, things that go on while you're at your 9 to 5. You know, I never realized how many schools there were around until I started doing this for a living. And I'm having to be somewhere, right? And you're trying to be efficient and all that, so, you know. All right, y'all, I'm pulling up over here. I ain't got time to kick it. All right, y'all, so I got done with these two. This is 140 and 100, so 240 is 930. So yeah, if you can pay me with Zelle, then I love that, because I don't have to chase my money. I don't have to wait on a check. I don't have to do anything, and it keeps a record, though. Kind of hard sometimes to see how they do it. Damn. Spider web all over me and shit, man. What the hell? But no worries. Now the lady next door, you know, to the other commercial, the medical building, well, now she's a whole nother ball game. She likes to play games with the money. She likes to play games with the timing. She likes to call and text me a little spot like this out of, you know, 100,000 square foot. There's a little corner that I missed or whatever, and you shouldn't miss anything. But sometimes, one time I missed a little spot over there, and she took a picture of it and sent it to me, and it was like, I mean, literally a square about like this, you know. So, you know, you're gonna have those type of customers, and if you drop every one of those type of customers, then, well, you may have a problem, you know. Or you won't have no customers, or, you know, you got to kind of, I don't know, feed into it just a little bit. It can't get irritating. Like last week, I finally texted her again, and this is the one that owns one of the houses over there on $1 Million Street. And she, you know, the last time I was over here, a week later, she had still not paid me, and with Zelle. And so I don't like having open stuff, because even though she'll pay me, I know, and all that, I don't like confusion out here about the money. And I don't like, well, I paid you, and no, you didn't. Yeah, I did. I paid you, you know, and all that. And that's what happens if you let people get way behind. The purpose of Zelle is to make it more convenient for her and for me. But if she waits a week to pay me, it's not convenient for me anymore at that point. Now, if she texted me and said, hey, Ray, it's going to be next Thursday before I can pay you, then okay. But she's not answering texts or nothing, you know. And see, I don't like that kind of thing, man. I just don't. I don't play that, man. I don't. So I texted her. I tried to call her. She didn't answer. So I texted her. I said, look, the whole purpose of the Zelle is to make it easier for you and me. I said, if Zelle's not working for you, and it's easier for me to just get a check, then let's just start doing the check thing again. I mean, the whole purpose I went to Zelle was so, you know, she could not have not have to be home and not have to be anywhere for me to get paid, and me not have to wait on my money. That's the main reason. You know, me sitting in the truck waiting. You know, I can't stand that crap, dude. You know, it's just unnecessary. So we went to Zelle, and every time we do it, up until last week, it's like 3, 4, 5, 6 days before she pays me for the office cut. See, the office cut is 1 week, and then her house cut is the next week. So she's finding herself, you know, sending me damn money every week. Anyway, she's having to pay me every week. Once for the one I just did 1 week, and then the next week she's paying me for her house. So, see, and she's letting it. What happens is they start running into each other. Where I'm fixing to cut her house again, and I haven't gotten paid for the medical building cut. And see, I don't like to let her get like that, because then all kind of confusion starts coming into play. And she's the type, you know, that, well, she's a doctor, but she gets confused really easy. So you tell me. She likes to play a lot of games, head games, period, just in general. I'll get over there to her house over there on the $1 Million Street, and she'll stop me and she'll say, you know, we'll be, you know, 80% done. And she'll say, you think you could cut it a little bit lower? You know? And I'm cutting it on the same height no matter what she says, because it's too big of a cut for me to cut it lower, because it clumps all up. And then she calls me in the middle of the week and says, well, the grass looks terrible. You know, it's all got these big humps everywhere and clumps everywhere, you know, that kind of thing. Always want me to spray and this and that, but she don't never add nothing to the check, and she never says good job, it looks really got nice. Never. It's always, she calls me, she's crying about something. And you know, if all my customers were like her, then I'd be out of business, because I couldn't stand it. But considering she's paying me roughly $600 or $700 a month, you know, I take a little bit with it as long as I'm getting paid, but I don't let her get behind. Now, this other guy that I was over there, you know, that owed me for the last time, I would cut it until he told me not to cut it. And you know, because I know he'll pay, because he's just a different type of personality than she is. You know, even her husband knows that she's a card. I was going to quit on her, and her husband called me and says, Ray, just I'll take care of my wife. We'll make sure you get payments. I was waiting, last summer, I was over there waiting 15, 20, 30 minutes on the check. Yeah, after we're done, been there 2.5 hours. We're cutting the ones all around her while I'm waiting on the check. And get done with all the ones. She's in the house the whole time. And I go knock on the door, nobody answers the door. Had to go back to the truck, call her. Just a bunch of shit, man. So, I don't do that no more. Ain't nothing, man. But she's one of the customers that, you know, well, that I would drop. If I had to drop any of the customers on the $1 Million Street, she would be the one. And that boy moving around like a champ, y'all. He's surprising me so much, man, that I'm thinking, when is the other shoe gonna drop, man? Yeah. Okay, y'all. So we over here, we do this one here, and Zach's already done the pool area, and we do this one here. And the one over here, y'all been to both of these, so it's not like, you know, it's rocket science over here. I'm just gonna try to get a little mowing footage. Now the one back here behind me, this one back here, the one with the puke green doors, you got to really watch yourself over here at that one, because the front you can cut it on like a 3 1/4 or whatever, but the back you better be up on 4 1/2 or something. It's way high. If you try to cut it any lower, then it causes you problems. It really needs to be a weekly. I run this one a long way, so it's on time lapse. such thing as cutting Bermuda grass too low. You can't kill it, but what you can do is you can make a big mess. And you can see that as I got down into the middle of it here, that my line got all crooked because the mower started, well, I had to slow down. And it, so the grass could catch up. Alright, y'all, so man, we got caught in a freaking monsoon, man. I mean bad, dude. We was almost done cutting, so we finished up cutting, and boy, they don't look good at all, man. They tracked up bad. We got a lot of rain, man, and we just had a little bitty piece to cut right there, and yeah, man. And then a little bitty piece to cut on the other one. They don't look good at all. And I'm not worried about this customer because she understands. You know, she's the one that wanted me to cut it. The other customer though, I don't know. He might not. He might be like, dude, really? Because he hasn't been my customer for long. But we're trying to make up for it with any which way we can. But I mean, the mowers were on the properties. We were cutting them when the bottom just fell out. It came down pouring. So we finished them up, but man, they don't look worth a damn. Okay, guys. So that's a wrap, man. We had a good day. We made pretty good money. I don't know exactly how much, but we ain't hurting. So yeah, I ordered me a sandwich and I'm finna go pick it up, pick up the check from the somebody called me. Who did I miss a call from? Shit, man, I get more spam calls than anything in the world, man. They ought to make that shit illegal, man. It'd be worth paying Verizon a fee not to have to get spam calls, man. Y'all know what it is. It's Sammy Time Wednesday. Peace out.